ambapo Raila Odinga ambaye ni kiongozi wa ODM na wahutubia wanahabari. Hebu tusikize anasemaje.
Economic survey lists each one of these roads including distance and cost. The so-called delivery portal that his office has just put up claims 2,000 kilometers of intercity highways under construction and another 500 kilometers under procurement. When these highways are completed, they will only be 100 kilometers shy of Mombasa to Kisumu, which is 830 kilometers, plus Namanga to Moyale, which is 970, plus Nairobi to Mandera, which is 800 kilometers. But there is a huge mystery. Which are cities the highways are connecting? The existing cities, towns, and most municipalities, for that matter, are already connected. Kisumu, Nairobi is connected. Nairobi, Mombasa is connected. Nairobi, Nyeri, Nakuru, and all these are connected. Energy. And again, I'm talking as a former minister of energy. The story of households connected to electricity is marked by the same confusion and contradictions being peddled about roads. As of now, we have 5 wildly different numbers. The president's figure is 2.9 million. Cabinet Secretary, Treasury says it is 3.7 million. The Energy Cabinet Secretary says it is 5.5 million. And the Deputy Chief of Staff, Nzioki Waita, says it is 5.8 million. So which is which? The Kenya Power and Lighting Company's figure is 2.3 million. It is worth pointing out that the 5.8 million figure corresponds to the total number of KPLC customers, not households, that is, domestic customers, as claimed by Mr. Waita. Customers include business premises and institutions, not just homes. Moreover, it has come to light recently that KPLC staff has been inflated and has been exploited the figure to conform to the Jubilee administration's targets. The media recently reported that Kenya Power deliberately reported fake numbers to meet their targets as a result of pressure from the Jubilee administration to connect 1 million new customers. An internal audit has reported to have showed that about 1 million of the connections from 3.6 million new customers were fake or have never been topped up. Jubilee says power output has risen by 657 from 1,765 megawatts in 2013. Yet manufacturers and domestic users are feeling the pinch of the frequent electricity outages and power surges. But the number of the megawatts they're talking about are projects which were ongoing under construction when the Grand Coalition government left power. Nothing new launched by Jubilee. The Kenya National Bureau of Statistics reports in the 2016 economic survey that in 2015, rural electrification connections increased by 174,690 from 528,552 to 701,190 total. Projecting with this figure suggests that the total number of household connections over the last 4 years, so at least at best, is 800,000. Eurobond scandal. We have noted with dismay as well as bemusement the claim by President Kenyatta that our contention that the government has failed to account for the proceeds of 2014 sovereign bond issue, that the Eurobond, is unfounded. For quite a while now, President Kenyatta and his government have been telling blatant lies on easily verifiable information. This is truly absurd. We do note, however, that one of the reasons why the Eurobond scandal has refused to go away is the inability to show the projects that were financed with the money. Kenyans will recall that the Treasury Cabinet Secretary reported that the Eurobond proceeds amounting to Kenya shillings 196 billion had been disbursed to ministries for development projects in the financial year 2014-2015. We have maintained that it is not practically possible to absorb that amount of additional money in development projects within a financial year. If this much money had been invested in projects, ongoing and new ones, there would not be enough days in the week for the President to launch them. We need to not to belabor the President's project launching challenges. The answer to the phantom projects mystery may be on hand. You have seen the President intimidating the Auditor General at his ill-fated corruption summit, followed by numerous clumsy attempts to cripple him or remove him from office. You have reason to believe that these attacks on the Auditor General are meant to preempt the completion of the special audit on the Eurobond. If our allegations are unfounded, why go to such great lengths to obstruct and intimidate the Auditor General? What is Jubilee afraid of? The Eurobond ghosts are clearly haunting the President. And the Auditor General promised Parliament that in 2 months' time, he would be back to Parliament. That was sometimes early last year. Up to now, the Auditor General has said he cannot trace the money into the central bank, neither can he see what projects this money has been used for in the government up to now. And that's why even Parliament is intimidating the Auditor General, because the government, the President and his government know that the Auditor General cannot find this money. Health. This has been the home of scandal and old-school theft of public funds. Jubilee says it pioneered management equipment service. From the 99 furnished container clinics, which were sold to the government at an exaggerated cost of 10 million shillings each, to the 5 billion at the Ministry of Health, that was enough to buy 16 state-of-the-art cobalt cancer-fighting equipment, to the forceful leasing diagnostic equipment for 5 billion shillings a year to county governments. Health sector has been a cash cow for the big boys in the Jubilee government. Yet the President's portal sees only sterling achievements. The county government will tell you a completely different story. Lands. Jubilee claims that it has issued up to 2.4 million title deeds these past 4 years. Yet in January, the High Court ruled that over 3 million land title deeds issued by the Jubilee administration since 2013 were irregularly processed and therefore illegal. Not ODM, not NASA, not Raila saying. The High Court is the one that made that ruling. The High Court, the Ministry of Lands proceeded to prepare lease documents in violation of the law governing land matters by ignoring the inputs of the National Land Commission. The court said the ministry had erred in processing the titles as there were no regulations in place to guide the process in accordance with the Land Registration Act. Social inclusion. Jubilee claims to have engineered a social inclusion project that has seen vulnerable families benefit from a cash transfer program. The truth is that the cash transfer program was launched by the Grand Coalition government. Some of you remember me moving around. I had the honor as the Prime Minister to launch this program in March of 2012 at Tononoka grounds in Mombasa, targeting Mvita, Likoni, Changamwe, and Kisauni in the initial phase, where the households got 2,000 shillings each. The money came from the government of Japan, which gave us financial assistance totaling about 200 million shillings. And this project was supposed to be rolled out throughout the country. It's stalled until now. They have now put in the budget, which will start in July of this year, when the Jubilee is out of power, also getting out. It has been hit by poor communication and questionable and unpredictable payment arrangements. Beneficiaries have no idea on which date they are supposed to get the money. 1 month you get it, the next month you don't. Amounts vary depending on how much bribe you are to part with. Food security. Jubilee says it spent 7.2 billion shillings on Galana Kulalu irrigation project. There's nothing to show for the billions. As we speak, the Jubilee administration has sent appeals for food aid all over the world. Government reports say that the number of Kenyans facing starvation has risen from 2.7 million in 2017 to 2.7 million in 2017 from 1.7 million last year. Up to 3 million Kenyans are in need of food relief. But you remember the Galana Kulanu, they had talked about 1 million acres of irrigated agriculture. In February, the media reported that the government has approved the import of 5 million bags or 450,000 metric tons of yellow maize from Ukraine. The Galana Kulalu irrigation scheme produced 10 90-kilogram bags of maize per acre instead of 40 bags per acre that was projected. Once again, no value for money. Ease of doing business. We are told there is another portal, the e-Citizen online portal, to ease doing business in Kenya. That is commendable. But the National Bureau of Statistics also says up to 2.2 million small enterprises closed shop over the last 5 years. They include Soft Bottling Company, Samia Africa's Yana Tires Unit, Everready East Africa, chocolate maker Cadbury shut down its factory in Nairobi in October 2014. Procter & Gamble and Rekit Benkisha, among others. The highest number of establishments shut down was in 2015. You can see many businesses are shutting shop here and relocating to other destinations like Tanzania, like Uganda, like Egypt, like South Africa, because of the difficulty of doing business in Kenya, particularly corruption and bureaucracy. National security. Like the health sector, national security has been the home of old-school corruption. As we have bought equipment, you have suffered more attacks than at any one time in our history, thanks to our unending war in Somalia and the corruption in vital sectors of the administration. Jubilee may be banking on Kenyans forgetting past, but as opposition, we will not forget that past. This is a very inopportune time for the president to make the wild claims he's making. What the president and his administration think they are achieving with the alternative facts remains a mystery. One thing is clear, though. The president is struggling to account for his 4 years in office. The lies have caught up with him, and the noose is tightening around his administration. End of the statement. Thank you.
Do you have any question?
Swali. Yes. Gina na your name and media.
Naitwa Sintemam kutoka kwetu Radio. Tofauti na masuala ambayo yamezungumzia, pengine kuhusiana na swala la muungano wa NASA pia
Moja kwanza, this is, I want questions relevant to this.
to this statement. Kuna swala ambalo linahusiana na statement hii.
Huh? Kwa muktasari, tumetoa statement, taarifa leo juu ya yale maneno ambayo Jubilee walitangaza jana, ati sasa wamefungua njia ya kuwasiliana na wananchi kwa njia ya runinga, ili wananchi waweze kujua ile kazi ambayo Jubilee imeweza kufanya.
Ni kiongozi wa